Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another reaction for you guys. The first episode of Moon Knight is here. The premiere of Moon Knight is here. I cannot believe I'm saying that because it's felt like it's been forever. It's not been forever since we heard of the announcement that Moon Knight was being made on Disney+. Kevin Feige making that announcement at D23. And now we're here with the first episode, the title, which I was surprised because I was thinking back on like previous shows. I believe the Marvel shows have given titles, but I noticed the Star Wars ones really didn't until you actually got into the episode. So this is not really too much of a surprise. But I was thinking, did Marvel do that as well? I think at one point they did for WandaVision. But anyways, regardless, the first episode of Moon Knight is titled The Goldfish Problem. That is kind of weird, but when you think back on yesterday, when they just dropped a poster with a goldfish in a blender, I don't know the significance of that. I'm trying to think, is that something in the comics of Moon Knight? But then I'm thinking, Moon Knight in the comics, there's so many different stuff that goes on within those stories and a lot of craziness that maybe at one point there was a goldfish. I just don't remember there being a goldfish in a blender. I have no idea, but the title is just bizarre. But this show is supposed to be bizarre, and from what we're hearing from people who've already seen the first 4 episodes, I don't think everybody or anybody has seen all 6 at this point, are saying it's insane, it's very different in terms of what you expect from the MCU, and I can't wait for that. I can't wait to see what the show's going to do, because in order to handle Moon Knight correctly in terms of adapting it correctly, you have to make it weird. You have to make the show trippy and makes you question a lot of things, and I cannot wait to see what they do, because the marketing has been really damn good up to this point. So now we have the first episode. I cannot wait to dive in. Oscar Isaac, of course, here. It's fantastic they got him to be in this role, because I was like, really, got Oscar Isaac? And then Marvel didn't officially confirm it for a long time, and now it's here. The show's here. I cannot wait. I'm going to stop rambling, guys. Let's get into now Moon Knight. First episode, The Goldfish Problem. Weird title. Anyways, let's go. Dude, what are you doing? He seems confused. He's like,
Morning, Gus. A little one-finned wonder.
Goldfish.
Hello, Mum. It's me.
Wake up, boy. Wake up.
Oh, you're this. You're not the bloody tour guide, Stevie.
Stephen. Actually, I am
Steven.
Stephen.
No, you're bloody.
I like that,
useless
Steven.
and you're doing what you pay.
Are you asking me out?
Wait, you don't remember?
Yep.
Oh, this might start
I see that.
him start thinking like, wait a minute, what?
Stevie,
They've got 7 gods here, and the Iliad has 9.
I fired you for being late. Listen,
7 or
don't
9.
stop nattering at me.
She clearly does not like him that much. It's really unfortunate. He's just trying to be helpful.
No, there are stranger things that you do.
Guy's just like, I think it's a guy pretending to be a statue.
I'm sorry. Alright, laters.
Oh, the symmetry right there. The reflection. This is routine for him, you know? They're really showing he wakes up, takes the tape off, the string, and now he's putting it back on.
Let's start with trying to solve the puzzle.
Okay, it just repeats over and over and over.
Board with puzzle.
What the hell?
Go back to sleep, worm.
Oh?
The idiot's in control.
He's really confused. Jesus. Wow. Okay, so within the first episode, we're finding out whatever the fuck this is.
I judge you in Amit's name with but a
What?
fraction of her power.
What would have happened if he was a bad man? Uh-oh, that's bad. Did you just fall over?
To Amit!
Oh, bollocks.
Oh, they found you.
You will give him nothing.
Here.
Oh. He...
Take it. So strange. Sorry about that. I didn't do that on purpose.
he's not doing it.
No, the idiot's back.
Oh, shit. Chickens. Oh. Come cake.
Truck, stupid! Truck!
Wait, driving backwards. Oh! Oh.
Fish.
Fish.
What do you mean? We'll be back.
Yesterday that fish had one thing, yeah? It was like that when I bought him.
Did you also miss work too, since you now realize what time it is? Does he have the date wrong? Like the actual date?
I ate steak by myself, thanks. 2 days ago.
What? I thought we said fish.
How much time has passed?
Welcome to Sunday.
Come on, no. I'll have a steak, please.
Oh. Okay, you're eating a steak. Alright. I mean, he probably has to deal with the fact that he's lost a couple of days. Is he actually talking to somebody? Or leaving a voicemail?
About it tomorrow.
He actually brought chocolate. Scratches on the floor. Like moving the table or whatever. He's starting to discover what Mark has been doing in the body of Steven. It's an old razor phone.
I've been texting and calling you for months. You couldn't
Months?
even that you were okay.
What?
I thought something happened to you.
Why did you call me Mark?
Because she thinks you're Mark. With a different accent.
You're gonna get yourself in trouble.
It's yourself. Well, it's Mark talking to you, Steven. He's like, what? Yeah,
Steven.
that's not weird at all.
Stop.
Oh boy. Oh, well, oh my god, he's losing time. What the fuck? And they're like, what are you doing?
Oh my god.
Oh shit. He just went back there. Or are you allowed to go back there?
So you really do work here? Oh, I'd assumed Stephen Grant was an alias. She knows what we've done and what we will do.
She knows.
Okay, well,
He's like, okay, great, awesome. I'm surprised. Oh, yeah, you're not going anywhere.
by even her own avatar. Avatars. Blue people. Love that blue avatar. I mean that, I mean anime. Stephen. Relentless.
He knows about the voice. What was the answer? They didn't show it.
There's chaos in you.
Well, you know. The delay. Yeah, I remember that from the trailer. Oh boy. Oh. Oh.
Stephen Grant. Gift shop. Give me the scarab.
To the gift shop. Ooh. How? How did you get away from that?
I can't have you fighting me this time.
That's
You
interesting.
need to give
The
me
visuals.
control. You understand?
Give him control. Come on.
What you're talking about. You're gonna die.
No, you're not gonna die. Give him control. Give him control. Ooh, here we go. Here we go. No, no. And that's the end, right? That's the end of the first episode. Damn it. Wow. Holy crap. This freaking episode is a fantastic way to start this series. I was blown away by the way they told the story and how they progressed the story and how they made us think, okay, so what exactly is real here? And it turns out all of it's real. Because throughout this episode, in terms of what Steven was going through, is that he was experiencing huge frames of time he's missing, and that's because that's when Mark takes over. I think they really progressed it really well, and I was honestly wondering how far into these 6 episodes is Arthur, Ethan Hawke's character, going to meet, of course, Oscar Isaac's Steven or Mark Spector. Like, when is that going to happen? It actually happens in the first episode, like within the halfway, like not even, I don't think it's like a little bit before the halfway point, they actually come face to face. Because I was honestly expecting them to not meet until a couple episodes in or whatever in terms of face to face, but Turns out they're not wasting any time, and I really appreciated that. So, the ending. That was so freaking badass. Now, we had seen it in the marketing. They showed a good portion of that in the marketing in terms of we see Moon Knight just punching that fuck. I'm trying to think, I think there's a name for that creature that was chasing him. I can't remember. It's not like connecting at the moment what it was exactly, but it was really cool to see that. And he's just beating the shit out of it. And then he walks the camera, credits. So that was frustrating because I wanted to see more, but it was really cool to see the transformation and then seeing where Steven is being chased by it, and he's like, oh my god, he's freaking out, and then literally you see that creature being dragged by Moon Knight back into the bathroom, and just like, or I think it was like a little sink area or whatever, like a lot of sinks, and just a lot of mirrors, of course, so that Mark and Steven can talk to each other, but he's just dragging it back in, that visual, and just pulling him back in, he's like, no! It just punches shit out of you. It was so badass. And I like how they progressed where Steven was slowly learning that something's going on here. So, like, pretty much right away, he wakes up. After, like, the first thing we see of him, he wakes up. Of course, we see Arthur put, like, glass in his shoes. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, he drank out of a glass, and then he smashed it, and then he put those sprinkles of, I said ice, those sprinkles of glass in his shoes. All right, dude. But when we see Oscar Isaac Steven first wake up, we see he has the restraint on his leg, he has the tape on the door. I think they showed a bit of that in the actual marketing itself, but seeing the routine over and over and over throughout the episode. But then we realize it's not bulletproof. Clearly it's not, because he's going through the routine and he has the sand around, like, I guess the border where he could actually go if he actually stood up with the restraint or whatever. And seeing how it wasn't disturbed, the sand around the bed and everything, and he goes to work, clearly not treated fairly or, good at work, basically. He's just treated as you're just here as the gift shop, blah, 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 you're not here as a tour guide, because he was trying to tell that girl some information about, stuff, because she was looking at that little pyramid, she put her gum, I think, in the pyramid or whatever, that little pyramid, but he was trying to, like, teach her something. Then, of course, he's like, you're not paid to be a tour guide. You're never going to be a tour guide. And this woman just does not like Steven at all. But he's just trying, he's trying to be a nice guy. And then, all of a sudden, he loses so much track of time, because then we witness this huge sequence where he wakes up on the ground, because he was actually sitting there tossing up a Rubik's Cube. He's reading through different, like, books of Egyptian stuff, of course, relating to work. Well, not exactly, he's, gift shop guy, but basically he's learning a lot of stuff. He knows a lot of stuff. And so he wakes up, and I'm like, is this real right now? And he's hearing this voice in his head. I actually had to look it up. I believe it's Khonshu is how you pronounce Khonshu. I hope I'm not butchering that. But he hears the voice, and he's like, oh, like, this is the wrong body. Like, the dumb one's taken over. Replying to Steven should not be in control. Mark should be in control. Because what they did throughout the sequence of the town, of course, he was chased by guys with guns. He sees Arthur, Ethan Hawke's character, walking through up to the middle of, like, a town square or whatever. He judges a guy, like, put a cane in the middle of their palm in their hands or whatever, or holding their hands, and then it swings. The cane swings, and he has that mark. It's like a tattoo thing, but it moves, and it's a judgment, balancing. Are you good? Are you bad? And the guy was judged correctly. He's a good man. The older woman, unfortunately, not so much. She dies. And then they quickly get to the point. I'm thinking, so what's going to happen next here? Because we see somebody get judged good, someone judged bad. That person dies, the person who was judged bad, unfortunately for her. And then he says something and causes everyone to kneel down. He's like, oh shit. He's like, you. And then throughout this sequence, we see these camera close-up shots, and, like, it's shaking, and then it cuts to where he loses track of time because Steven is back in control. And we don't see what happened when Mark was in control, but we can kind of infer what happened, because Steven's trying to run away because he has the scarab that Mark took. He's not going to give it up. Khonshu's like, you're not going to give it up. And so when it cuts back, when he loses his first track of time, there's a couple dead people around him. And I'm thinking he's back home. No, he's still in the town. It's just there's been a track of time from when he was forcibly not giving the scarab away, and he was being dragged away by those people, by Arthur, and then he loses track of time because Mark takes over, and then it cuts back to Steven again. So the whole driving sequence is really, really cool. I like how they showed that, because He's like, I don't have a driver's license. So clearly he's like, he doesn't know what he's doing. And then when Mark takes over and then Steven comes back, it's like he has a gun in his hand. There's like that guy who actually got into the cupcake truck is dead. And then all the cars are chasing him, the windy road and everything. It was just so bizarre. It was so bizarre, but it was so well done in terms of showing all this sequence play out in terms of this action sequence on this, because a lot of chase sequences in terms of car chases are, at this point, they're not that exciting. I really had a good time with this because we were losing track of time because we know at that point Mark is taking over, Steven has no recollection of it, and then he wakes up in bed and he thinks, oh, it's all a dream. No, it wasn't a dream. Now, I was also surprised that Arthur shows up when he does towards the end of the episode, because I didn't think he was going to show up that fast and actually find Steven. Like, I didn't think that was going to occur like this soon after all that went down, but it makes sense because he still I believe he still has a Scarabia, and he thought, oh, I thought that was just like a fake name you gave me. Like, turns out that you actually are real and you actually work here. Because he was on the train, he lost more track of time, and then he sees Arthur on the bus, and there's other people, and there's even a security guard who is working for the museum that Steven works at that is with Arthur as well, like is a part of the cult. It's like, I mean, I guess it makes sense. We're relating to Egyptian stuff. I guess it would make sense that there'd be somebody within the actual museum itself that has access to certain stuff, would be a part of his cult or whatever he's trying to do. Crazy stuff there. Now, what I think was also really jarring, but it kind of makes sense because of what they're implying, is that there's two different people taking control of the same body. When that girl walked up early on in the episode saying, we're having dinner tomorrow, right? And he's like, sure, yeah, are you asking me out? I was like, oh, because he doesn't remember. Because it wasn't him, it was Mark. I believe it was, yeah, because I mean, it would make sense, because if he doesn't remember that he has this date planned, but then when he calls her, when he's sitting there outside the restaurant, he's all dressed up, he bought chocolate, he's lost track of time because it was Thursday when he spoke to her, and it's now Sunday, and he thinks it's Friday. So clearly, a lot of time has passed, and I'm wondering how far did Mark travel to this, you know, like destination or wherever the location is of that small town that Arthur's cult's at. Like what, like how far was that? Because he lost track of several days. So clearly some stuff was going on. It was really well done in terms of the pace. I really enjoyed how they progressed the episode, like I was saying, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. And I hate the fact that we don't get all the episodes at once. And I get it, because the formula that Disney's trying to go with in terms of Disney Plus, also other streaming services, not so much Netflix, but they're trying to go to that weekly release so that the momentum builds up. Because let's be honest, if they released all of WandaVision at once, the show wouldn't have got the traction that it did when that show was first releasing. So with Moon Knight, it makes sense. You want to put out this first episode, and when I woke up this morning early as fuck to do this video, saw a lot of people responding saying that they really enjoyed this first episode, and I got excited. I got excited to check it out for myself. I'm glad that I did, because man, this show delivers, and I'm glad that it delivered on this first episode in terms of giving us Moon Knight a little bit at the end, but also having Steven slowly discover with the phone and everything and moving the desk and discovering this razor phone, and it's a woman wanting to talk to Mark, hadn't heard from him in months, and he's like, what are you talking about? And then the goldfish, I haven't got to this part yet, the goldfish grew back a fin. So the goldfish, like, it's weird how that was the kind of the focus of why the title was the goldfish problem, because there's a lot more going on than a goldfish issue, but he grew his fin back. So I don't know what that's signifying exactly, but that was definitely an interesting little turn there. And then him realizing, oh, the time, and he doesn't know what, you know, day it is. And then apparently he went in yesterday with the goldfish. Like, I wasn't here yesterday. So there's a lot of like things where he's losing track of time, and I think he's used to losing track of time, is why he has the restraint and everything, in terms of the restraint to the pole on his bed, on his leg, and then having the tape on the door. But it turns out it does not matter, because apparently Mark can just get through all that with no issue, and Steven never knew the wiser until now. So it's really cool to see that the mirror sequences, we had seen that in the trailers, but seeing it here in terms of all the context and everything and the build up to it was really well done. So really great time. I'm curious to know what you thought about the first episode, guys. I'm curious to know your thoughts. I cannot wait to see the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.